Hello everyone, this is Rochelle Rosenberg again. Welcome to this Art and Faith channel. So as you can see, I have already made it an outline of my art today, and we are featuring Christine Tampus. Just visit her YouTube channel if you want to check her out. She's located in Philippines and she's a student. So for today's artwork will be a mixed media, which means it is mixed with acrylic and with watercolor. So for this paper, I have already made the outline and now I'm just applying the acrylic over it. It's just a plain titanium white. And remember that acrylic will stay clear when it dries. And since my paper is for an acrylic watercolor, then it will absorb as fast as it can. So now the drawing had already dry. Now I just pull out my watercolor set and I'm going to try to create the red tones of the skin. It's important to remember that in drawing the watercolor, you have to start at the skin tones, the light ones, before the dark ones. So from this you can see that I've put a lot of yellow, and for me that's the basic that I can use just in the reference to the picture. So I covered almost everything with yellow. And afterwards, I'll gonna allow it to dry. Now I am starting to draw over the eyebrows because the eyebrows are a little bit dark, but I'm drawing it with a little bit of umber and allowing it to dry a little bit. And I'm gonna go to another part of the face, which is the lips. It's very important that when you paint watercolor, you have to start a little bit of light strokes. Never press your brush into the color so deep, and don't allow the brush to absorb so much of the color, because if you do that, it will not be easy for you to adjust the shadows or the colors afterwards. And as you can see, now I am trying to draw the eyes. It's the outline of the eyes. So by the way, before I forget, these artworks that I'm doing right now is the grid edition, which means that everything I'm gonna draw for some time will show a lot of grid. Actually, I don't need the grid, but since this is a basic and this is something for all the beginners to watch and to learn from, so I have the grid as my outline. I have the picture as a reference, but I think that the grid is one of the best practice for a new beginner. So this is for you. So as I continue with all the outline, it's very important to be focused on the proportions or the right sizes of every details in the subject. I am not too much concerned if the portrait would look exactly as the reference, because I think that art should not look as exactly as the reference, but it should resemble a little bit of your understanding to what you are painting. So for the part of the left side of the face, as you can see on the top, I have put on the shadow on her forehead, a little bit over the left part of the nose, and even that shadow underneath the nose. I'm just going through some lighter mid-tones over the eyes, and that is a light brown I'm using. So I've been doing this watercolor for a while now, and I think that I can create as much as I can in 20 minutes. So as you can see right now, I am putting on a lighter primary yellow on the top of her forehead, just to show a little bit about the yellow tones from the light. Now let's gonna go over the eyelids. A little bit of the shadow over the hand. And remember to imagine always where your light is coming from. Since the light is coming from the right side of the picture, I have to put the right amount of the color or the dark tones on the left, and still focusing on the outline. So now I'm just going over to the small shadows over her chest. And then, since everything is a little bit dry now, I have to go to the dark tones of the eyes. I just have to put on a little bit of light black on it. Not so much. I will not allow the brush to absorb so much of the black color, so that I can adjust the highlight later. Because as you can see on the reference picture, there is a round, or there's a circle white dots over her eyes. So that's why I just have to put on the dark shadows on the eyes, just a slight of black. Looks like a shadow, but it's there. So while it's drying, I have to go through the hair, and since it's a very, very dark hair she have, I just have to brush it again with a little bit of small amount of black. My color is very carbon black, so I just dip it a little bit of water and just a small amount of the color black, just to give a shadow on the hair so that you know where the hair is, because later we're gonna create an illusion of the hair. And now, as you can see, I am trying to absorb a lot of color. This is just a dry stroke. A dry stroke means that your brush will not have a lot of water, but it will have a lot of paint instead. So just a small amount of water, and then just dip it a little bit on the color and then brush it dry. So remember to dry the parts that you are painting on, because if you will paint on the same area, it will bleed and it will result into something that you don't like. You know that the water or the color will run away. So if you want it to stay on the same place where it should be, then you have to allow to dry that place and then go to some other place first and create something. Just like what I did, I came over to the hair, but now since I have to allow it to dry, I have to go to the clothes over her chest and color it blue. The reference picture is actually black, but hey, this is art, so I want to create something from my imagination. You know, art has no limit if you are creative in your mind. Art is actually one of the best things you can calm your mind. And since I use this as a part of my healing process from all the things that I'm thinking, and sometimes even from my stress, I have to find a way to escape, and this one are just one of the things that are like windows for me, so I can escape from too much stress. I am not actually stressed from my job or from my work, but the stress that I feel comes from the things that I went through. And you know, all of us need this kind of small space in our lives. So therefore, if you want something to do like music or art, they are one of the best things that can help you to calm down your mind and your emotions. So now we're gonna focus on the face, and we'll try to create a lot of the details over the eyes. I know you're got boring listening to my voice, but if you want to learn the painting, then you have to endure. So as you can see, I have my telephone there on the left, and that's the picture. Actually, for me, they just resemble each other, but they don't really look alike. But I'm still content and happy in what I do. So, you know, sometimes I have learned already where to place this kind of attitude that I have. I used to like perfection, but now I want it to be good rather than perfect. I want it to be nice and beautiful rather than perfect, because if you want everything perfect in life, you'll actually end up nothing. So it's better just to do what you enjoy and just enjoy what you're doing. I don't know if that's right, but I just hope you understand. So now, as you can see, now I guess you understand why I put light colors before. I have now created a little bit of dark over the hair, and now we'll just add a little bit of more darker tones over her eyebrows so that we know that she have an eyebrow. Literally, this girl actually have a beautiful eyebrow. I could see it in her picture, and it's so amazing just to draw her, just like the other girl I drew from the past few weeks. It's so satisfying just to paint them. Right, so now I'm just trying to clarify the details of the eyes, the eyelids, and the eyeliner down below. You know, they are essential in all kinds of painting, so don't be harsh on yourself when you're learning to paint. If you're a beginner, don't be too hard on yourself. Just paint and keep doing it, because you know by time you will master what you do. No one actually from all the painters or singers or instrumental players that I have known who have mastered their skills without practicing. Actually, even at your job, or before you even started your job, you went through school to study, to learn. So therefore, every skills that you will achieve needs practice. I'd rather say practice makes you better, not perfect, because perfection is, as I have said, will give you a lot of stress and demand. So now we're just gonna have to create a little bit of hair strand here and there, and I think it will help a little bit. And this is the crucial part now. This is the necklace, and I actually am lazy to just follow all of the small spots on her necklace, so we'll just have to create something from our mind, you know, and just follow it. It's actually fun. I guess that you have to try this kind of technique so you would understand the feeling that I have when I'm doing it. And now, since this is a necklace, we have to put a little bit of illustration or an illusion, a shadow underneath it. And never forget the small details. You know, in painting, if you look at it directly, you won't be noticing the small details. But if you are a professional artist, you actually look on the small details because they are important in a painting. The small details, they are the ones that creates an impression of the art that you are doing. Right, so now we have reached already the end of the video, almost I guess, so but please don't run away yet. we're just gonna have to do the final signature for this painting. And let's just add a little bit of tones from her surroundings, and then we're gonna write Christine Tampus on the top of it, and the episode of this art. So you see, sometimes even if it's done, I'm still returning on some small spaces or on some parts of the painting, just to make sure that I'm doing it well. I am not a perfectionist, but I'm having some problems sometimes when I miss things. It's like I want to make it better, but sometimes it's too much. I think I am satisfied with the results of this picture today. I just hope one thing, that the owner would actually like it. Right, so the video has almost come to its end, and I am so grateful for the time that you have given here. I appreciate it a lot. You are essential. So you know that if you are new to this channel, please like and subscribe. And if you want me to draw you, please comment down below or send a message on my Facebook page. If you know someone struggling in drawing, and if you also think yourself you cannot draw, why not test this kind of techniques that I do? Just hover to my playlist and you can see most of the things that I have drawn there, and you can actually follow every steps. And if you want one-on-one lessons with me, you also can join me. You know, I can teach you privately, and I'll be seeing you there. So thank you so much, and God bless everybody.